So, a little known fact about me is when I was 9 years old, I had an accident. I caught fire. My shirt set on fire, and so today I'm going to be telling you guys a story about how I got burnt. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, it was around October time. It was just the morning. I was getting ready for primary school. I'd just gone downstairs to get my breakfast. I'm pretty sure I was eating chocolate croissants. And I had a glass of Coke in one of those old Coca-Cola glasses that you could get from McDonald's. And I remember the night before, it was my stepdad's birthday. And I wanted to light the candles on the cake, but my mum was not letting me. So the next morning I got up, we had some candles downstairs, a red one and a white one. They were like big candles. They wasn't tea light candles. I don't know how to describe them. They were big. And so I lit them both, and I was like pouring the wax from one candle to another, just messing about with it. And I dropped some on my shirt. And growing up, I've always had like bad ADHD, and one thing I struggle with the most with my ADHD is my impulse control. And basically in my head I thought, well, my mum's gonna go sick, so I best get rid of this wax off my shirt. So I had the brightest idea of melting the wax off my shirt. And those of you that know the law of fire, that you don't hold your shirt up to the fire while you're wearing it, because you're gonna set on fire. And that's basically what happened. My shirt just went up in flames. I remember everything that happened from this point on. So I remember holding my shirt over the fire, and it was a cotton shirt. And I remember the shirt turning brown and then black, and then it went up in flames, and I was running around shitting myself. I was screaming the house down. I went through the living room into the kitchen. I tried climbing on the side, but because I was short at the time, I couldn't really reach. So I struggled a bit there. I tried climbing on the side to like get to the sink and turn the water on. I ran up to the breakfast bar. I poured Coke on myself to try and put it out. And at the time, the house that we lived in, it was set out kind of weird. And we had a living room which was attached to the dining room, which is kind of normal. Then we had the kitchen and the utility room. And it was all like one straight building. So you go through the living room, you get into the kitchen and past the dining room, and then there'd be a door where the utility room is. So I ran through there into the back garden. Now at the time I had two dogs. I had a husky and I had a Jack Russell, and they were locked in the garden. And my shirt was like up in flames, like I was on fire, and I was trying to like get into the garden to like get the hose on and pour myself out. And I wasn't thinking like stop, drop and roll. I was just thinking, I'm on fire, I need to like try and put it out with something. So the fence, the gate was locked to the garden, so I had to run back into the house. And at that point I ran through the house, and my mum came down the stairs. I'd never seen my mum move so fast. Like, my mum is not physically fit in the slightest, but I swear to God, I'd never seen anyone fucking fly down stairs quicker than she did in that moment. And she literally ran up to me, fucking ripped the shirt off me like Superman style. I was thinking like, what the fuck? And she threw the shirt across the room while it was still on fire. She fucking rushed me upstairs, put me in a cold shower. And at the time, like, no one knew what was going on. Like, my mum was just panicking. And my stepdad just come in the room and seen what had happened and looked at my chest, and I was covered in blisters. I'd burnt down right down to the nerve endings. And I had to stand in the cold shower for like 10 minutes. And I remember I thought I was going to get hypothermia. It was fucking freezing, mate. And then the paramedics come, and they like put this thing on my chest, and I got rushed to Blackburn Hospital. And they couldn't treat me there, so I had to get rushed to Manchester Children's Hospital, and that was where I was treated for my burns, and I was in there for like 6-7 weeks. I had to have a skin graft. I had to have leg removed from my left leg at the top, like at the top of my leg. I had to have skin like removed from there, and it had to be put on my chest. And the worst part about being in the hospital was when I first got there. I had to be put over this like bath, and it's called a scrub, and basically that's where they like get rid of all the blisters on you. And I had to literally have the blisters scrubbed off of me. And at the time, me and my stepdad were like super close, so he was the one who went in the room with me, and my mum wasn't allowed in the room because like my stepdad didn't want to. He didn't want her to see me going through that. So there I was, strapped to this metal bath with fucking like 3 nurses scrubbing the blisters off me. I'd never screamed so much in my life. And after all that was done, I don't remember much after that. I just remember waking up in my hospital bed with a bandage on my leg, and I was thinking like, what the fuck? Like, why is there a bandage on my leg? I only burnt my chest, but that's when I found out about like the skin graft, and then after that, I just a lot of rehab in the hospital, because I'd been in the hospital bed so long as well that my legs had gotten weak, so I couldn't walk. So it was just it was an ordeal, and yeah. To this day, I've still got my scars, and no matter what anyone says or what anyone tries to make me feel, my scars are a part of who I am. And as much as it's been traumatizing growing up being bullied from the age of 9 for having a massive scar on your chest, I've become a lot stronger as a person because of my scars. And I don't think